Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all my Ancient Fairy Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for Post-Alliance Insight. We finally got an actual Ancient Fairy Dragon deck, actual support to summon the new Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, along with additional support that works with the original Ancient Fairy Dragon. So it's a very awesome deck, so I would definitely say this would be Luna's Evolved deck from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D series, with the added support from all the different monsters that she ran being able to be used in their new forms for this version of the deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck monsters. We got 3 new monsters in the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Set for this deck, and we should be getting some more additional support in some later booster packs as well to help with this deck, just meaning more updates in the future. But for what we got in the latest booster pack, 3 copies of Regulus, the Fairy Beast. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 spell or trap that mentions Ancient Fairy Dragon from your deck to your hand. During your main phase, you cannot special summon you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower light monster, beast, plant, or fairy from your hand in defense. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 field spell in your graveyard, place on the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. You can only use each effect of Regulus once per turn, but the actual play with this is to set up our World of Spirits spell, and then also be able to make use of the main phase special summon of a level 4 or lower light monster, beast, plant, or fairy from our hand to then go for our bigger synchro plays, whether they be our Ancient Fairy Life Dragon or the original Ancient Fairy Dragon to do so. We're also running 3 copies of Kuribon, the Fairy Spirit. If you control Ancient Fairy Dragon or a light monster, beast, plant, or fairy, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. If another card you control that is Ancient Fairy Dragon or a monster with that card that mentions it would be destroyed by card effect, you can return this card you control to the hand. Instead, you can use each effect of Kuribon, the Fairy Spirit, once per turn. So the main play with Kuribon is to act as the protection play that the original Kuribon was able to do, but also just being able to be an easy special summon onto the field along with Regulus's own special summon to set up the needed level adjustment to then be able to go into our Ancient Fairy Life Dragon or the original Ancient Fairy Dragon, with the last of the new monsters being Spore, the Fairy Seed, which we are running another 3 of. If this card is special summon, you can count the number of monsters you control and have this card gain up to that many levels. If you control Ancient Fairy Dragon or a light monster, beast, plant, or fairy, and this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon it, but you cannot special summon from the action deck for the rest of this turn, except for synchro monsters, and you can only use each effect of Spore once per turn, but the added level adjustment helps to increase our play if we special summon off of cards like Regulus to then go for the added count, making it a level 7, and then being able to summon out our Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then being able to use the Kuribon, controlling Ancient Fairy Dragon as a special summon to then go into the bigger boss monster, Ancient Fairy Life Dragon. We're also running 2 copies of Revolution Synchron, just a good tuner to run for the level 7 dragon play, to then go into the Ancient Fairy Life Dragon as an added means for our different level 7 signer dragons that we run, and the special summon power that this card has, and the added option to be used for that synchro of the bigger boss monsters. The 1 copy of Destrudo as another graveyard setup to be able to special summon and then adjust its level, to then use this tuner with one of our other non-tuners to go into a level 7 synchro, and then 3 Lone Fire Blossom to have another means to special summon out our Spore from the main deck, because this card just has to be special summoned to get the level adjustment to use, and the 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring for the last of the main deck monsters and the added hand trap lineup. For the spells, we do run a good number of spells, whether they be for helping out our special summon plays or setting up our different light monsters in the deck. 3 copies of the new field spell, World of Spirits. When this card's activated, you can add 1 monster that mentions Ancient Fairy Dragon from your deck to your hand. You can only activate the following effects you control of level 7 or higher light dragon fairy monsters while you control that monster. Each time a monster is special summoned in attack position, change it to defense, and once per turn during the end phase, destroy all attack position monsters then for the turn player, and you go and activate 1 World of Spirits per turn. So the added setup with this card is meant to be utilized as a means to get your search for your monsters, but then also give you the option to change your monster's battle position, and then also being able to destroy all attack monsters on the field for that play as well. You can activate 1 per turn, but the added defense setup means it works well with our Ancient Fairy Fairy Life Dragon as well, which gives our monsters the added option for our attack against our opponent, and then also being able to use their defense for damage calculation. We're also running 3 copies of Small World, just being able to share that light attribute, and then the difference with our other monsters to be able to search them out, since they are Plant, Fairy, and Beast, varying with the levels and use for the reveal of Small World to search them out. 2 copies of Tuning to be able to add our Revolution Synchron from our deck to our hand, and then the added 1-ofs for our spells. The 1 copy of 1-for-1, the 1 Monster Reborn, the 1 Terraforming to search out our field spell, 1 Dragon Shrine for the Destrudo send, along with the 1 Foolish Barrel as another way to send it off to the graveyard, or even set up our Spore in the graveyard to be able to do so. And then some other additional spells include the 2 copies of Ayer's Rock Sunrise. This is good for targeting our Regulus in the graveyard to special summon it back onto the field again as another search for adding a spell or trap that mentions Ancient Fairy Dragon. The 1 copy of Instant Fusion and the 1 Ready Fusion to be able to also give us special summon resources for additional monsters from the extra deck to use, with our restriction for the synchro summoning being only after we use our additional play for our Spore. So if we use the Ready or Instant Fusion beforehand, then we don't have to worry about the added search for these cards. And then lastly, 1 additional field spell that I like to run is the Savage Coliseum. If a monster attacks, its controller gains 300 life points at the end of damage step. All monsters must attack if able, and during the end phase, destroy all face-up attack position monsters each player controls that did not declare an attack. So with our Ancient Fairy Life Dragon being able to attack and defense, will protect those monsters while keeping this field spell face-up on the field also. And then also the 1 copy of the new trap, Eternal Sunshine. Monsters you control gain 500 defense for each Ancient Fairy Dragon and monsters that mentions it you control. And once per chain, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. Its attack and defense become halved. Also, its effects are negated, and you can only use each effect of Eternal Sunshine a number of times per turn, up to the number of Ancient Fairy Dragon monsters that mention it that you control. So added reduction of your opponent's attacks, making it all the more dangerous for them to attack with some of our other cards, and all the more powerful for our own monsters to be able to swing into their weaker monsters thanks to this trap. And 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence to finish off the main deck lineup as well. For the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of Ancient Fairy Life Dragon. If it's Synchro Summon, you can draw 1 card, or if World of Spirits is on the field, you can add 1 Light Monster, Beast, Plant, or Fairy, or 1 Eternal Sunshine from your deck to your hand, being the trap we just spoke of. You can only use each of the effects of Ancient Fairy Life Dragon once per turn, and your Ancient Fairy Dragon and monsters that mention it can attack while in face-up defense, and you apply their defense for damage calculation. Now, adding to the boost that Eternal Sunshine provides makes it all the easier for your 33 defense attack point Ancient Fairy Life Dragon to be able to swing into your opponent with. I run the 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon and then the 1 Ancient Pixie Dragon. If you wanted to run a second Ancient Fairy Dragon, you could do so here for the added special summon power that this card can provide, as well as the life point gain by being able to destroy as many field spells as possible that you control to do so, or just on the field. The 1 Black Rose Dragon along with the Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, 1 Herald of the Arclight, 1 Crystal Wing Synchro, Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, the 1 FA Dawn Dragster, with some of our bigger synchros being the 1 Psyframe Lord Omega, the 1 Light End Dragon, and the 1 Crimson Dragon, with our fusions being the 1 Carbonala Warrior, the 1 Sandwich, and the 1 Albane Essence of Vanity to finish off our extra deck monsters. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, with our go-to monsters, you can have a full Ancient Fairy Life Dragon play setup with these cards. If you have Regulus, it's all the better, because with Regulus, we can add our World of Spirits to our hand, and then in turn add another monster. So with that play, you can go for your Regulus summon, using it to search out the World of Spirits, activating World of Spirits. So if you have one or the other, then you'll search out the other monster that you don't have for that search. Then using the additional play of your Regulus to summon out your Spore onto the field, counting the number of monsters to increase its level to 3. You then use those 2 monsters to go into your synchro play for your Ancient Fairy Dragon as well. Then you can use the effect of Kuribon in your hand to special summon it, then go for the additional level 8 synchro play, being your Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, which can then in turn set up your trap to be able to go up against your opponent for the added battle of the increased attack and decreased defense of your opponent's monsters and your own monsters. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely going to be updating a lot of different decks from the Alliance Insight. Wanted to start off with one of my favorites for the new support from the booster pack. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira, Twig out.